Boom, boom. This is Ken, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I get about Azur Lane up on tap. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. So, we're a little over halfway through the event right now, Aquilifers Ballade. So, let's go ahead and talk and see what we're going to focus on the second half of the day, and we'll go over a little bit. So, you, of course, want to focus on the first portion of the event is for the mini event. You want to try to get as far as you can through this. However, you want to try to at least get 25,000. 25,000 will get you 5. These have got Season 5 DR ship blueprints in here. This is for any one of the ships in the DR5. And of course, at 20, you of course want to get her. But you can actually start getting her at 10. So, but you want to try to at least get the 25, or if you can. Second slot, of course, would be 50 because then you can get some more, but it's only 2 more. So try to at least get 25. You want at least, you want to get 45. Unless you get, because you might have to end up purchasing the ship inside. I'm going to have to at this point. I've gotten most of the ships. I've not gotten. I've got Roma, Oriani, Pasagnia, and Bolzano, but I have not gotten any of the other ships as of yet. But we're only halfway through the event, so I'll hopefully get them in a second up. But you can get Garibaldi inside of the shop, so just make sure that you might have to set aside 8,000 for the shop to actually get that ship just in case. Okay, so that's something that you need to take into account for in terms of the ships. So what do we want in here? Of course, Garibaldi, of course, as I said, 8,000. If you don't get her, if you build her, yippee. You don't need to worry about spending any 8,000 in here. But if you do get her built, you can between 35 and 40, you should be okay. But if you're going into, getting towards the end of the event, you haven't got her built yet, then you might want to, just go ahead and press the 45 to make sure that you have enough. Definitely want to get the cognitive arrays and the cognitive chips. Okay. Definitely want to get the blueprints, and as I said, these are Season 5 DR ship blueprints. So this is the first event where they've actually had these for ships that were just released a couple of weeks ago. So you definitely want to start collecting these so that whenever you've finished with whichever ship it is you're building, you'll be ready to actually start throwing blueprints at it to level it up. That's how you get the stars on the priority ships if you're not familiar with them. Of course, you want to get the parts. Okay, oil, gold, all this stuff is worth going for. Okay, cat boxes. If you're not having much luck on your daily draw of cat boxes, then you might want to go ahead and get that one. The skin. If you go to 45 and you end up not needing to purchase Garibaldi in the shop, then you have some left over. You can get a gear skin. And get some type of skin for that, but it's there. But you definitely want to get the arrays, the blueprints, and the parts. That's your primary concern. So if you can't really focus on the event that much, at least try to be able to get enough to get that, and then you might have to add 8,000 to that just to get the ship that you want. Okay. As for farming, there's really not a whole lot of good farming inside of this. I've been hearing some say that you can get gold items inside of the B events, which is not something they normally give. I have not seen that. They're not showed up, but a thing you might be able to though. But don't hold me to that. So they might be available. They were talking about some stuff in the Bs, probably B2 and B3 most likely, for getting some type of gold equipment. I have not. I didn't get nothing gold dropped for me in that particular thing. But they do got this stuff inside of D3, of course. This is the 381 mm. I think this is the gun for this. It's not a bad gun, but then again, there are better guns. Okay, but I think this is the gun that Latorio uses. Don't hold me to that, but it's not. It's an okay gun. It's not. There are a lot of guns better, gold guns better. So there is that. But if you want to, farm for it, it's D3. You're going to get the most commemorative coins from farming here, so that would be to do it. I got some stuff in D2. always want to get these. Okay, never have too much steam catapults. You should have two steam gold catapults on all of your carriers, fully maxed out. Okay, that's one of the first things that I do when I'm looking for that is actually, because you should be focusing on your crafting, of course, but steam catapults are always something that I always make immediately. Every day I check this, and I always make the steam catapults, and I make the high performance radar as well, because you want to have the high performance just for backline protection. But those steam catapults, you need those for all of your carriers. Okay, so you want to make sure that you have that, and all this other stuff is is gravy. As you need guns, you can build it. They do have some pretty good stuff in here, so definitely something that you want to keep an eye on in terms of that. They got the Brigade in here, which is pretty cool, as well as the prototype torpedo bomber. So this right here is a pretty good ship as well too. Okay, so a pretty good plane as well too. So keep an eye on some of this stuff because there's got some really good stuff in here. Barracuda's in here, the BTD one. So yeah, keep that in mind. But these are fighters, but you want to start looking. There are better. They got the fighters out there now, which are a little bit better in terms of that. You can start crafting those. Something you can get the mats and stuff for that inside of Operation Siren, which is where you should be focusing most of your time at this particular point. As for the event itself, it's a good story. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone, but it was funny, exciting. It was nice to get everything. But when you have something like this, the World Expo, it's difficult to get everybody's favorite ship girls in there, but they hit the high points. And we got to see some. In terms of the ships, the ship girls that they've got inside the build, they're okay. There's not a UR ship in the event. You definitely want to try to get them all, of course, because if you're, I collect ship girls. That's what I do. So I'm going to try to get them all. Leonardo da Vinci, Roma, Garibaldi are the SRs, and then we've got Oriano, Bolzano, and of course we've got Pisagni in the actual mini event. Those three are elite ships. Roma seems to be really the only one that Da Vinci. They both got interesting kits. Roma is probably the only one, and again, paper to reality, impossible to tell. I gave up a long time ago. There's numerous times I've said, well, the skill set's not that good. You put her in there, and she's a nightmare. And there's times I've said, this is an awesome kit. We stick it in there, and it's a joke. I'm not going to bring those up again, but that Iron Blood ship that everybody was waiting for some time ago. I won't mention the name, but I know I made a big deal about the release of her, only to find out that the skill was completely broken. It did not last long. The slow did not last long enough. If you can remember which one I'm talking about, if you've watched my videos. If not, just look up Iron Blood ships that slow, and you'll find out which one it was. Everybody was hoping that she would. It was the first real ship that was going to have the ability to slow. There's been a couple since then. All of them do it better than her. You won't see her inside of much anymore. So, for those of you unfamiliar, let's go ahead and focus on the Iron Blood. Confirm. Where's she at? There she is, Peter Strasser. Everybody was really hoping that she was going to be an awesome ship simply because of the fact that she had the capability to slow, but it's not, does not proc very often, and when it does proc, it's not long enough. So yeah, everybody was hoping she was going to be a really good ship. Very high awareness on a release, and people find out pretty quick that that wasn't it. So we didn't get anything out of that, but since then they've made up for it with the UR ships and stuff. So it's in the past and it's forgotten. Now, as for these ships, we've got Roma. Roma is a really good ship. The kit sounds promising. I'm in the process of I don't have the capabilities to instantly max out ships. I could come very close to it actually, but it's just not something that I prefer to take my time when I'm doing the event. I also prefer to use ships that need leveled up, simply because of the fact that that's the best way to do it. I also prefer to use ships that focus on the actual, not that, that focus on my actual ship. As you can see, I'm plowing through Plymouth because I've been all in this event. Both of my fleets have been HMS ships. Okay, um, the minute I, the minute I complete, like, I'm starting to focus on the actual missions right now because I'm not having good luck. I got Roma immediately. I got Roma more first pull, and then but since then I've got Oriano, as I said, in Pasciano, but I'm just not having luck with Da Vinci. And I don't want to have to use Garibaldi inside, purchase her inside the shop. 8,000 is awful high, but I might have to. So I decided I'm just going to have to go ahead and start focusing on the actual fleets here. So I've already knocked out one of them. So I'm going to go ahead and knock out B2 with Sheffield. Okay. And then first I'm going to get rid of, I'm going to do the Chenha one. Then I'm taking her out of the fleet. And I'm going to put an HMS ship into the fleet. Same with Prince Eugen. I'm going to do the 10, and then I'm going to take her out of the fleet as well. And so basically, I'll be running constant HMS ships, both fleets. Okay, will be full of HMS ships. I've already started to do it on the hard mode. If you go into the event, we'll just choose D3. This is what I run D3 with. This is HMS ships. Okay, except for San Fran. I put San Fran here for just a teeny weeny bit of healing. I wanted to have one fleet that had a little bit of healing just in case. It turned out I did not need it. None of these events are hard. You should be able to get through it with fairly decent ships. D3. So these are all HMS ships. Okay, except for San Fran, as I said. So that's what I'm running it with. And all these goes towards my priority ship, Plymouth. Okay, she's an HMS ship, so you need to run HMS ships. The experience you get from using those will then translate to her experience, which is why she's booking through it pretty fast. So this whole event, for the here on out, I'll be just using HMS ships for all of it. Okay, it's just Vanguard, but just might as well go ahead and. I don't get to use the HMS ships very often, so I thought I might as well just get them out, dust them off, use it. I really, really do like Monarch. I think she's a great ship. Centaur, excellent ship. Vanguard, she's new. As you can see, I'm leveling up a couple of ships. Got Jarvis there as well for the previous event. Leveling those two up. Gathering experience on these 120s so that when I do bring them eventually to 125, they will automatically go. So when you pop the arrays and the cognitive chips on it, it pulls it stores that experience for them, and it translates into an instant 125 if you got enough of it. So, and I got these ships to 120 because these are fairly old ships, so when I got them to 120, I stopped using them. Well, now 125s came out. I need to start building up a little bit of experience on them so that when I do translate them to 125 eventually, I will, it'll go straight to it 125 right out of the gate. So yeah, that's what. So as you can see, I just really like Monarch, like Queen Elizabeth, and I love using some of the ships that have a really, really, really good kit. That you don't get to use very often. Okay, I really like the skill set for some of the ships. Prince of Wales has an excellent skill set, so I love using her, but I don't get to use her very often. But I'm going to be taking. She's one of the first ones that I took to 25. I did that primarily because I really like her. I think she's got a really interesting kit. The fact that she can be used in cross feet is also helpful as well too. So I went ahead and brought her up. So I like to use her whenever I can. So I pulled out, dusted her off, and using her. Just for a little bit of experience points to translate into the DR ship. So yeah, that's what. So I'm using, as I said, except for San Fran. You want to make sure that things can go bad. Okay, I mean you're probably running this on auto. I would assume you're running an auto. If you have high level ships, you should be able to auto it. You shouldn't have any trouble. If you don't, you can probably beat it just by doing it manual. You can always do a little bit better in manual. Not generally, but in some of the higher levels you have to do manual, simply because of the fact that you need to be a little bit more cognizant of being hit by enemy fire. If you have Yuho and Sanford, it's not that big of a deal much because we've got targeted healing, but still, it's better to just, you can do it manual, but you have to use, I use the tablet and stuff for that. But yeah, so I completed these, auto was easy. None of the ships came even remotely close to that. I don't think any of them got below half health lost. But they're HMS ships, so I was using them. But I wanted to have one healer just in case. I didn't put Yuho in there, but I just wanted to have one here just in case things got a little dicey. They didn't, but I like the ship, so I put her in here. So yeah, so that's what to run. I decided to go ahead and go all out on the SP. You know, I said let's just go ahead and go all out. So I put in all my these top ships. Blew right through it, didn't have trouble. But you know, I like to do, you know, even though these ships are max, okay, you're still getting the XP data packs. No, experience doesn't go to waste anymore unless you're maxed out your XP data packs and have no room to carry more. I think it's 2,500. But anyway, you know, so even if you're using these ships now, you can use them because you get the experience goes into an XP data pack that you get right here. See, these are XP data packs. This can be used on any ship. Okay, so using max ships is good in some cases because you get XP data packs. So don't be scared to pull those 120s, 125 out ships if you like them and use them, because you get the XP data packs, which can be usually translated into experience for other ships. Okay, and that you can get a lot of these data packs. So you definitely want to, you know, don't be scared to use your big ships. I like to use my powerful ships. I blew right through it. Yes, the backlat on one of those was like nearly 18,000, but it was fun. I think it was like 17.7 is what it was. But yeah, they just blitzed right through it. So it wasn't really, never even got close. They don't even think I lost any health hardly. Well, I think San Fran lost a teensy bit of health. But yeah, it was good. It was really good. So, but yeah, that's the way to do it. So have fun with the event. But as for yeah, you want to farm those steam catapults. But that's about it in terms of, like I say, the guns. Not a bad gun, but there are a lot of guns that are better. So it's not something you want to farm. But I would stick on and farm. I would farm D2 actually would be the one that I would focus on. Okay, because that's where this is at, and this is what you want. So farming for these, you know, get enough of them, you can make them. So that's what I'm going to probably focus on. I've got this gun. Okay, it's not a bad gun, as I've said. People are really giving this. They're saying it's like really bad. Yeah, it's not good, but it's not that bad. It's a gold gun. It's better than most of the purple guns, although there are one or two top level purples that are actually pretty good, simply because of their spread. But yeah, this one. So you know, but yeah, the AP's not too good on this one. So, but yeah, so I would farm D2. Would be my suggestion. Would be to farm this one. To get the blueprint mats for that if you're looking to farm. It's not one of the best events to farm, but like I said, I've got to get caught back up. You know, but the problem is we've been having they having the 2.5 year anniversary inside of Grand Cross, the 7 Deadly Sins. So I've had to put a little bit more time into that, and I haven't really had as much time to start focusing on Azur Lane. Not to mention the fact that I've been having trouble with my network connection for some reason. Oh, I'm not sure if it's my network connection or the actual server. I think it's the server because the other games don't seem to be having an issue. But quite throughout, they've been getting a lot of Manju loading screens intermittently. I'm not exactly sure what's up with that, but we'll have to see. But anyway, so yeah, so it's it's a pretty good event. Story is excellent. You have a good story. You want to get all the ships. Nothing to write home about, but with the UR ships and stuff, that's not surprising. They're fairly decent ships. The epics, you know, Da Vinci, Garibaldi, Roma, they're building up the particular fleet. So if you want to make a fleet of just those ships, there'll be some really helpful additions. Roma might be interesting in terms of possible PvP ramifications. I don't think so. Haven't heard anybody talking about it on a scale that would warrant an update, but so looks like the meta is still going to be protected. So in case you're familiar, the meta is the basic meta for PvP inside of your exercises. Okay, you should still be going with the standard. Okay, so we've got Aquila right here. Benito, she's our flagship. We got Jersey. You could alternate. Prefer to put her in the flagship position. Then we got Chimikaz, Duca, and we've got Nushira. Nushira should be replaced with Anchorage. As I've said, I'm going to. I've already got Anchorage, but I still haven't got her quite maxed out. I'm probably just going to use some XP data packs. I'm really getting close to the point where I'm going to have too many, and I won't be able to gather anymore. So when that does, I'll probably blow a bunch of them and get Anchorage up to 125. And then I'm going to be popping her in place. She's more tankier, and she does torpedoes, so she bends in with this particular format, which is to annihilate the opposing team's vanguard really fast, and it does. The most vanguards for opposing teams does not last long with all these torpedoes, because I mean the torpedoes just start flowing across the screen, and there's nothing you can do, and it just puts them down pretty quick. So, and then you get to the back line, of course. See, all of them are gone. Both their vanguard's gone. It's already down to one ship. I think that might be Udachi. Yeah, she's got excellent evasion, so it'll take a little bit longer to take her down. And then it's just a matter of, then we start attacking the back line. Okay, see, and that's just, yeah. So this will not lose to the only fleet, the only PvP team that this will lose to is another PvP team of the same actual design. And then it's just a matter of who has better equipment, who has better stats. Okay, so you definitely want to focus on that. Focus on put the rainbow equipment on PvP ships when you're using them. Okay, and when you get, try to avoid another fleet of the same type if they have higher stats than you, because you're probably going to lose. But if because I do see that fleet occasionally that matches mine. Usually, as long as if we're at about the same, or if I'm a little bit higher, I usually win. I have on occasion lost to ones that were a little bit higher than me. They probably just have better stats. Okay, I haven't had a chance to oath all of my ships for the PvP yet. I still need one oath ring. I still got to get Duca oathed. I got Aquila oathed her just last week. Oathing increases, gives you a 3% stat increase. So it's definitely something that you want to do if you're looking to min-max your account. Not to mention, you also want to focus on the pieces of equipment that they just came out with. I've got HMS ships. Let's switch this back to all faction ships. So you definitely want to focus on this. I've got, this is how I'm waiting to get the gold stuff for this. Okay. But you want to do for battleship, you of course want to do firepower. The ones that they give you they have both. They have them out there for ships, and they have them out there for carriers and whatnot. So you should be able to get one, fully max it out. Okay, you should be able to get it maxed out. Just make sure that you're doing the actual daily for it. Right here, this is twice per week. So just keep checking it on a daily basis and go ahead and run it. It's real simple. You can just auto it. Okay. So I assume we'll be getting events and stuff where we can start getting some really good of those items. Just having to wait for them to come out, and we'll start building on them. But yeah, for right now, it's not really that big of a deal. It gives you a little bit extra on your stats. But really, oathing is what you want to focus on first. So you need the rings for that. My suggestion is do what I do, is to save up your diamonds. Okay, gems is what they're called. And you want to wait until they have the oath ring sale. They will have a sale inside of here where they'll have 2 oath rings, and it'll only be 600 of the diamonds, and you'll be able to get 2. That's the one you're looking for. Okay, this is the standard. Okay, So that's awful high. 600 is a lot better price. It doesn't happen always, but you should always check in here. You should be going in here weekly because you get the actual free pack. Did it disappear? Yeah, it disappears, but every week you'll get a free pack inside of here that will enable you to actually, you get a bunch of oil and a bunch of stuff, and it's free. So you should always be purchasing this every week. But yeah, like I say, the only time I use my diamonds mostly on dock expansion because I really need dock spaces. I collect all the girls. It comes out to the dock. This is not something you want to purchase. You want to wait until they have the 2-pack. They have that. It's a really good deal. They usually have it during the major events and wait for it for that. So that's what I usually. But yeah, so that's the only thing. That you really, what do you use your gems for at this point. Everything seems to be going pretty good. I really enjoy the actual lab now that we can store those in the queue. It allows me to increase your blueprint acquisition, which is going to be needed for your priority ships. So just make sure that you stick 3 or 4 each time into the queue so that they'll all run congruently, and make sure that you have met the requirements before that particular lab run finishes, so that you will obtain the reward for it. If you do not meet the requirements by the end, you will not get the reward for it. So make sure that that you got the. I like to have the requirements met. If I try to avoid ones that have extraneous ones that will take me off of focusing on stuff like, doing weird ones like make sure that you do chapter 13 onward 5 times and things like that. I try to focus on the ones, like ones that said do 5 commissions. That's easy. I do 5 commissions each morning. You set up your first, 4, and then you do one more after, because one of them is going to be an hour. So then you can start the 5th one almost immediately after that one complete. So you should, as long as you're on for an hour, you should be able to do it. Shouldn't have any trouble completing that fairly quickly. And then the ones that cost gold, I try not to spend any of my cubes on them at that time. But that's what we're going to get. So let's go ahead and finish this. If we're going to do, go ahead and do a 5 pool. See if we can get lucky with any of the ships. Northampton, Shrewsbury, Kinugasa, Pennsylvania, and another Pennsylvania. So nothing there. So that's what I've been seeing mostly for the past couple of days. It's quite depressing. Like I said, I've already got Roma, Oriano, Balzano, and I've got Pizarro, but I definitely want to get Da Vinci out of this build. Okay, if I get Da Vinci, I will not have to worry about completing the extraneous missions, definitely, because I'm going to have. I should still have it, just with Garibaldi. I can do it without obtaining Da Vinci. I don't need her to complete it. Technically, I've already completed the event. I've got the ships needed to do it. You can miss one and you're okay. Can't miss more than one. I'm just doing the other one just to be on the safe side, hopefully we'll be able to get Da Vinci, so that I'll be able to complete and get all the ships. Run a little bit low on cubes, but it is what it is. So I'll build them back up hopefully before our next UR event drops, just in case it's needed. All right, so that's all I got. So thanks a lot for watching. Remember to subscribe. Once you subscribe, you'll see the bell. Click on it, get notified each time I drop a video. Kenrick coming at you from the corner, signing out.